What if I told you that the biggest prison you'll ever live in isn't made of concrete and steel? It's made of your own thoughts. Right now, at this very moment, there's a voice in your head telling you what you can and can't do, what's possible and what's impossible. And here's the scary part. Most of us never question that voice. We just accept it as truth. But what if that voice is lying to you? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you've always wanted is learning to think straight? Today, we're diving into a book that will show you exactly how to break free from the mental prison you've built for yourself. This is Think Straight by Darius Foroux, and by the end of this summary, you'll understand why changing your thoughts might be the most important skill you'll ever learn. Hello friends, welcome to Book Breeze. Today we are going to talk about the book Think Straight by Darius Foroux, a book that reveals how mastering your thoughts can completely transform your life.
Capable of achieving. The book asked readers to answer some brutally honest questions, and Alex decided to write his answers down. Do you often use phrases like, "I can't do it," or "this is too hard for me"? Alex wrote, every single day. I tell myself I can't start my own photography business, can't ask for a raise, can't learn new skills. Are you afraid of failure and avoid taking risks? Alex wrote, absolutely. I didn't apply for that manager position last year. I didn't submit my photos to that gallery. I didn't even try to negotiate my salary when I got this job. Do you criticize yourself and downplay neuroplasticity? Learning new skills was the first method. Alex had always wanted to learn video editing to complement his photography. He told himself he was too old to learn new technology. He was 28, but the chapter explained that age is barely a factor in neuroplasticity. He signed up for an online course that very day. Changing your thinking patterns was the second method. Alex started a practice he called thought replacement. Every time he caught himself thinking, "I can't," he would immediately replace it with, "I'm learning how to." Instead of, This is too hard. He'd think, this is challenging, and challenges help me grow. The first few days, he had to do this dozens of times, but by week 3, the positive thoughts started coming naturally. Forming new habits was the third method. The book explained that habits are just neural pathways that have become so strong they fire automatically. Alex decided to build a morning routine. Wake up at 6 a.m., 20-minute walk, healthy breakfast, and 30 minutes working on his photography before his day job. The first week was torture. Every morning his brain screamed at him to hit snooze. But he remembered he was building new neural pathways. By week 4, he started waking up before his alarm, eager to start his routine. Challenging your mind regularly was the fourth method. Alex started doing things that scared him slightly. He took a different route to work. He struck up conversations with strangers. He tried restaurants with cuisines he'd never tasted. Each new experience created new neural connections, making his brain more flexible and adaptable. One evening, Alex's girlfriend Emma noticed the changes. "You seem different lately," she said. "More confident." Alex smiled. He felt different. His brain was literally different than it had been a month ago, and this was just the beginning. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I need this kind of transformation in my own life, here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button right now, because just like Alex is discovering how to rewire his brain chapter by chapter, I'm bringing you book summaries every week that can genuinely change your life. These aren't just summaries, they're roadmaps to becoming the person you've always wanted to be. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single one. Trust me, the next chapters get even more powerful. Chapter 4. 3 months into his journey with Think Straight, Alex hit a wall. He was making progress, but some days old patterns would come roaring back. He'd wake up motivated, but by noon he'd be drowning in negative thoughts again. That's when he reached chapter bias. We evolved to focus on threats and problems because that kept our ancestors alive. But in modern life, this bias makes us overlook the good things and obsess over the bad. Gratitude is the antidote. Alex started a gratitude journal. Every morning, before checking his phone, he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for. The book emphasized they didn't have to be big things. His first entry was simple. I'm grateful for hot coffee. I'm grateful that I slept through the night. I'm grateful for the sunrise I saw on my walk. At first, it felt like a chore, just another task on his to-do list. But after a week, something unexpected happened. He started noticing good things throughout the day because he knew he'd need to write them down. His brain was literally rewiring itself to look for the positive. He noticed the barista who always remembered his order. He appreciated the coworker who held the elevator for him. He felt grateful for his apartment, even though it was small, because it was his own space. The book cited research showing that people who practice gratitude regularly experience lower stress, better sleep, stronger relationships, and even stronger immune systems. Alex noticed all of this. His chronic tension headaches decreased, he slept better. Even his relationship with Emma improved. He started expressing appreciation for the small things she did, which made her feel valued, which made her more affectionate, which made him feel more connected. Gratitude created a positive upward spiral. Then came visualization. Alex had always thought visualization was some woo-woo magic thinking, but the book explained the science. When you vividly imagine doing something, your brain fires the same neural pathways as actually doing it. Olympic athletes use visualization to improve performance. Surgeons visualize procedures before performing them. Alex decided to visualize his biggest goal, quitting his corporate job and becoming a full-time photographer. Every night before sleep, he would close his eyes and imagine his ideal day. He'd see himself waking up excited to work. He'd visualize editing photos in his home studio. He'd imagine the feeling of satisfaction when a client loved their photos. He'd picture himself checking his bank account and seeing that his photography business was actually profitable. The book emphasized connecting with the emotions of the visualization, not just seeing it, but feeling it. So Alex focused on the feeling of freedom, of doing work he loved, of being his own boss. At first, it felt like pretending, but the more he visualized, the more real it felt. And the more real it felt, the more motivated he was to take action. Within weeks, something remarkable happened. Opportunities started appearing that aligned with his vision. A friend asked him to shoot her wedding. A local restaurant wanted photos for their website. He started saying yes to these side projects, not because he needed the money, but because each one was a step toward his visualization becoming reality. The chapter taught Alex that gratitude grounds you in appreciating what you have now, while visualization pulls you toward what you want to create. Together, they're an unstoppable combination.
clear thinking. When you think straight, you communicate straight. When your thoughts are cluttered with assumptions, judgments, and fears, your communication becomes cluttered too. Alex realized his relationship with Emma had been suffering from exactly this. He'd been assuming she didn't support his photography dreams because she occasionally expressed concern about the financial risk. But when he actually asked her clearly, "Do you support me pursuing photography?" she said, "Of course I do. I just want to make sure we have a plan." The chapter taught effective communication strategies. Be clear and honest was the first principle. Alex started expressing his feelings directly instead of expecting Emma to read his mind. Instead of sulking when she went out with friends, he said, "I miss spending time with you. Can we plan a date night?" Listen actively was the second principle. Alex caught himself doing what the book called reload listening, just waiting for his turn to talk instead of actually hearing the other person. He practiced truly listening, asking questions, and reflecting back what he heard. So what you're saying is, show empathy without judgment was the third principle. When Emma vented about her stressful job, his old habit was to immediately offer solutions. But she didn't want solutions. She wanted
spending hours on C and D tasks, while B tasks, the ones that would actually grow his business, got neglected. He made a rule: complete all A tasks, then at least one B task before allowing himself any C or D tasks. The chapter also covered eliminating distractions. External distractions were the first category. Alex's phone was the biggest culprit. He used an app to block social media during work hours. He turned off all notifications except calls and texts from immediate family. He put his phone in another room when doing focused work. The difference was immediate. What used to take 2 hours now took 45 minutes because he wasn't constantly context switching. Internal distractions were the second category. These were harder: worries, random thoughts, the urge to check something real quick. Alex used the thought parking lot technique from the book. Whenever a distracting thought came up, he'd quickly write it in a notebook to deal with later, then return to his task. This reassured his brain that the thought wouldn't be forgotten, so it could let go. The chapter taught working efficiently through several strategies. Single tasking was the first strategy. Alex stopped trying to edit photos while watching TV while texting. When he worked, he only worked. He set a timer for 50 minutes of focused work, then took a 10-minute break. This Pomodoro technique made him incredibly productive. Strategic breaks were the second strategy. During his breaks, Alex didn't scroll social media. He'd walk around, stretch, or make tea. Real breaks that rested his brain, not fake breaks that just shifted his attention. The 2-minute rule was the third strategy. If something could be done in under 2 minutes, do it immediately. Responding to that email, washing that coffee mug, sending that invoice. These tiny tasks used to pile up and create mental clutter. Now he cleared them instantly. Automation was the fourth strategy. Alex created email templates for common client communications. He used scheduling software so clients could book sessions without back-and-forth emails. He automated his social media posting. These small efficiencies added up to hours saved every week. Parkinson's law was the final strategy. Work expands to fill the time available. Alex used to give himself all evening to edit a photo session, and it would somehow take all evening. Now he set strict limits. This edit will take 90 minutes, no more. And it did. By applying these principles, Alex found himself getting more done in less time with less stress. He wasn't working harder, he was thinking straighter about how he worked. Chapter 9: Financial Management. Alex never expected a book about thinking to teach him about money, but Chapter 9 revealed that most financial problems are actually thinking problems. The book explained that money is emotional. Your thoughts and beliefs about money, formed in childhood, reinforced by experience, and rarely examined, control your financial behavior more than your income level does. Alex did the exercise on identifying money beliefs. He wrote down every thought he had about money without filtering. There's never enough. I'm not good with money. People who focus on money are greedy. I'll never be wealthy. That's for other people. If I succeed financially, people will judge me or want to take from me. Seeing these beliefs written down was shocking. No wonder he was living paycheck to paycheck, despite a decent salary. His subconscious beliefs were sabotaging every financial decision. The chapter taught him to challenge each belief. There's never enough became, I am learning to make conscious spending decisions and build financial security. I'm not good with money became, I haven't prioritized learning about money yet, but I can learn like I learned photography. People who focus on money are greedy became, money is a tool. Being financially stable allows me to help others and pursue what matters. Making informed financial decisions was the chapter's core teaching. Set clear financial goals was the first step. Alex defined 3 goals: build a $5,000 emergency fund, pay off his $8,000 credit card debt, and save enough to go full-time with photography, estimated at $15,000 for 6 months of expenses. Research and plan was the second step. Alex spent a weekend learning about budgeting, debt payoff strategies, and basic investing. He discovered the debt avalanche method. paying minimum on all debts except the highest interest one, which you attack aggressively. This would save him hundreds in interest compared to his current random payment approach. Making logical, not emotional decisions was the third step. Alex realized most of his unnecessary Sleep deprivation impairs judgment, emotional regulation, and willpower, basically everything Alex needed for success. He committed to 7-hour minimum sleep and created a bedtime routine. No screens 1 hour before bed. Instead, he'd read fiction, not self-help. His brain needed rest. The bedroom was for sleep only, no laptop, no working in bed. Same bedtime every night, even weekends. His body needed consistency. Cool, dark room with white noise. Within 2 weeks, Alex was sleeping better than he had in years, and everything else got easier. Willpower, mood, focus, creativity. Sleep was the foundation everything else was built on. Promoting physical health was the third focus. Alex joined a gym and hired a trainer for 4 sessions to learn proper form. He committed to 3 strength workouts per week. He also reassessed his diet, not with strict rules, but with a simple question: will this fuel me or just fill me? He didn't ban any foods, but he found himself naturally choosing the fueling ones more often. Promoting mental and emotional health was the final focus. Alex continued his meditation practice, his journaling, his gratitude practice, but the book emphasized something else: connection and expression. Alex joined a local photography group. Being around people who shared his passion fed his soul. He started calling his dad weekly. Their relationship had been distant for years, but consistent calls were healing that. He let himself cry when he watched a sad movie instead of holding it in. He laughed loudly without self-consciousness. He expressed love to the people who mattered. The book's final message was simple but profound. Your health is not separate from your success. It is your success. You can achieve every goal and still feel empty if you've sacrificed your well-being along the way. Alex realized this chapter wasn't really about health. It was about integration, bringing together everything he learned into a sustainable, balanced life. Not perfect, not always easy, but authentic, intentional, and healthy. 1 year later. It was a Saturday morning, exactly 1 year after Alex first picked up Think Straight. He sat in his new home office. Yes, he'd moved to a bigger apartment now that his photography income was substantial, editing photos from a wedding he'd shot the previous weekend. His phone buzzed. A notification from his bank app: deposit received, $2,500, payment from the wedding. Alex smiled, but not because of the money. He smiled because he'd done it. He'd actually built the life he'd visualized a year ago. In 2 weeks, he'd be giving notice at his corporate job. His photography business was consistently earning more than his salary. He'd paid off all his debt. He had 6 months of expenses saved. The numbers said he was ready. But more than the numbers, his thoughts said he was ready. The voice in his head that used to say, "You can't," now said, "You're doing it." The limiting beliefs that had been superhighways in his brain had grown over from disuse. New beliefs had taken their place. I am capable. I am enough. I figure things out. Emma walked in with coffee and kissed the top of his head. "Working on a Saturday morning? I thought we said Sundays only," she teased. "Just finishing up, then I'm all yours." Their relationship had never been stronger. They communicated openly, supported each other's dreams, and were just starting to plan their future together, a future that actually excited them both. Alex thought about the person he was a year ago, stuck, scared, convinced his life was what it was and would always be. He thought the problem was his job, or his lack of money, or his circumstances, but Think Straight had shown him the truth. The problem was his thoughts, and once he learned to think straight, everything else followed. His limiting beliefs hadn't completely disappeared. Some days, doubt still crept in. Some days, the old voice would whisper, "What if you fail? What if you're making a huge mistake?" But now Alex knew what to do with those thoughts. He'd observe them, challenge them, and replace them with truth. He opened his journal, now on volume 3, and wrote his daily gratitude list. I'm grateful for the courage to change. I'm grateful for Emma's unwavering support. I'm grateful for every person who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I'm grateful for discovering that my thoughts are not my prison, they're my power. Alex closed his laptop and looked out the window. The sun was shining on Chicago, and for the first time in his life, he felt like he was truly awake. He'd spent 28 years living in a mental fog, letting his thoughts control him. But now he thought straight, and thinking straight had quite literally changed everything. The book had been right all along, Change your thoughts, change your life. It wasn't magic, it wasn't luck, it was neuroscience. It was daily practice, it was choosing again and again to think differently. And if Alex could do it, the guy who'd been convinced he was destined for mediocrity, anyone could. As he stood up to spend the rest of the day with Emma, he made a mental note to leave a review of Think Straight online. Maybe someone else, sitting in their cramped apartment, convinced their life couldn't change, would find it. Maybe someone else would discover that the only prison they're in is the one they've built with their own thoughts. And maybe, just maybe, they'd learn to think straight and set themselves free. So here's what I want you to take away from Alex's story and from Think Straight. You are not stuck. The life you're living right now is the result of the thoughts you've been thinking. And if you can change your thoughts, you can change everything. Which of these 10 lessons hit you the hardest? Was it understanding the power of your thoughts? Identifying your limiting beliefs? Learning about neuroplasticity? Developing self-awareness? Practicing gratitude and visualization? Setting real goals? Building better relationships? Managing your time and productivity? Taking control of your finances? Or prioritizing your health? Drop a comment below and tell me which chapter resonated most with you and why. And more importantly, tell me which one you're going to start applying today. Because here's the truth. This summary is worthless if you don't do anything with it. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. If Alex's transformation inspired you, if you found even one idea in this summary that could change your trajectory, do 2 things for me. First, smash that like button. It tells YouTube to share this video with other people who need it. And second, share this video with someone you know who's stuck, who's struggling, who keeps saying, "I can't." Send it to them with a message, "Watch this. You can." And if you want more book summaries like this, stories that don't just inform you, but transform you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Every week, I'm breaking down books that can genuinely change your life, just like Think Straight changed Alex's life. You're not here by accident. You're here because some part of you knows you're ready for change.
Remember what Darius Foroux teaches in this book. Thinking straight isn't about being positive all the time. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about seeing reality clearly, challenging the lies you've told yourself, and choosing thoughts that serve your growth instead of your fear. Your brain is plastic. It can change. You can rewire it starting today, right now, with your very next thought. The question is, will you? This is Book Breeze, bringing you the books that matter, told in ways that stick. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, think straight, act bold, and become who you were always meant to be.